Welcome to
Get to the point!
A podcast.
the podcast in which we never just shut up and play.
We don't really play either.
Yeah, we're not going to be playing.
I mean, maybe.
I'm Charlie.
And I am Sawyer. Oh, we have cake, by the way.
Yeah. What kind of cake do you have?
I have a strawberry shortcake.
What kind of cake do I have?
A truffle something.
Chocolate.
Or other. Chocolate cake.
I'm going to eat it and tell you.
I'm also going to eat mine.
Mm-hmm. It's chocolate.
And this tastes exactly like a strawberry shortcake. So if you haven't had either of those, oh yeah, true. If you haven't had either of those,
This is actually
sorry.
Can I say something, Sawyer?
Oh, yep. This is a good call.
We got the cake, and I'm not going to lie. I was here to support you. However, I kind of really wanted that key lime pie. Because we decided we were stuck between key lime pie and a couple of options. So we decided on cake.
Oh, because if for long-time listeners,
Communal.
communal.
Communal bowl. Today around the communal bowl of fries, that's what we used to call it. We used to intro by saying, welcome to Get My Podcast we never shut up and play. I'm Charlie, I'm Sawyer. And today around the communal bowl of fries or the communal bowl of chips, or it was cookies one time, a couple times.
We're
And,
bringing it back for Point Plus.
Yeah. And then eventually we just kind of ran out of food and we just kind of realized like, I don't have a lot of, like when we went to Sawyer's house and recorded, he just had snacks. Like we don't really have that in my house. So like, there's only so many times you can do pretzels and fries from McDonald's.
Yeah.
We did Cinnabons from the little Cinnabon delights from Taco Bell. Those are good. That's the first one we did. That first podcast.
Yeah. And we also thought that it would be weird. Or not thought that it would be weird, but we figured that people wouldn't want to hear people eat.
Yeah, I kind of I agree with. That's why I'm kind of eating. I'm taking a step back. Also, we're talking a lot quieterly, which I'm a little worried about. I didn't listen to the sounds. Like I just hoped they'd be about the same.
It looks like it is.
I'm gonna-
it's fine. If not, I can always just
Oh
bump it
yeah,
up a
I'm
bit.
sorry. I yelled because I wanted to look at the sound and see you can see
That's
where I
okay.
yelled. But yeah, we just recorded a pod.
We did. We recorded Minecraft. Oh, speaking of, because it's not his game, it's mine. I'll put it right there. Above Happy Little Dinosaurs.
Oh,
If you don't want to keep it there, that's completely fine. I just assumed that,
I like
you
that.
should have it here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so we don't.
I'm gonna be honest.
It was in one of those kitchen play sets
I think that
from whenever we were a kid.
really.
That's where that was the.
What do you mean kitchen play set?
Okay, so like play sets whenever you're a kid.
Yeah.
We have a kitchen one that I think my grandpa built for us. He was a woodworking guy, and now since nobody uses it to play kitchen, we use it as a closet, and that's not a joke. Our games are in there right now, and
Really?
we don't have many.
Yeah, we have a lot of board games. You know what? We're coming about. This is about a little over a year ago. We came up with the name. Get to the point. I forgot. I didn't think about that until just now because I was thinking about our 1 year anniversary, which is coming up surprisingly soon. And I was just like, had we recorded a podcast at this time? Because we recorded, for those who don't know, we recorded 2 podcasts and both of them messed up. We played the game of life the first time before we released our first podcast, and it glitched out and the camera died a couple times. And so we decided to scrap it. And we played Mario Maker one time. What happened with Mario Maker? Did the game footage not work or did our face footage not work?
The SD card failed and deleted everything.
The whole podcast?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that originally happen or was that during that whole thing that happened? Like where you lost a bunch of other stuff?
It was the whole thing that happened.
That you lost a bunch of other stuff?
And that was before I had a hard drive. So it was before I backed anything up. But I know now.
Yeah, well, that's good. No, yeah, we have a couple of things we want to talk about. I have a special topic for Sawyer that we're talking about.
idea what we're doing.
No, this topic, it's the most wild thing. It's crazy on the internet right now. By the time this is a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time this podcast comes out, it probably will be a lot less hyped, but it's very recent and I want to talk about it. But before we talk about that, me and Sawyer released a couple of D&D episodes. We decided to stop.
Yeah. Do you know if we're going to continue that?
Maybe one day. I'm going to be honest. I don't foresee us building off that. If you want to, like me and you can just sit down and do it, but I don't know about recording it.
Okay.
Just to kind of like tie stuff
What
up.
if we put it on the bonus?
We could put it on the bonus because we have another episode that's just in the vault right now. Vault. My voice cracked.
Oh.
Yeah, but
And if I can recover the Mario Maker footage too, I will do
Yeah,
that.
but,
I have to pay to get the you can see that the for SD card stuff.
Yeah.
There are these websites that you can go to
Mhm.
recover your stuff. And it will tell you what's there still that it can fix. And the Mario Maker footage is there.
Mm.
But you have to pay
How? Why does that
get
work?
it fixed.
How's it broken?
So it deleted everything. And so I went, what the freak? And so I tried to get everything back and it didn't work. And so I took it to my teacher and he was like, well, there is one thing I can do. Let me look. He did this thing with the camera to see if he could get anything back because apparently something he has can do that.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't. And then he went on a website, which is what I did first, was like look up how to recover SD card stuff.
Yeah.
And he went on this website and he told me like you're gonna have to pay like I think it's like it's either 15 or 50. Which I know that's a big range.
Yeah.
But I will do it one day because I want to get all the stuff off.
How does that even work? It's deleted, I thought. Like, how is it still there?
I don't know.
We should learn more about SD cards.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, but I don't know. It's just the recovery service. People take advantage of people doing that. I think what happened to the SD card, because I tried to look it up, I was like, surely there's an answer. I didn't do anything like bad with it. Like I wasn't like just taking it out or anything like that,
Yep.
or leaving or taking it out while something was still using it. I think the reason why is because I was using the SD cards for so many different things. Like I was using it for camera, I was using it for audio stuff, I was using it for my Windows computer, I was using it for the MacBook. And so those are all different like operating system stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do that, it's more likely to fail. That's what the thing said. Is if you use it for a bunch of different things.
Do you have more SD cards now that you use?
Yeah. I have this one main SD card that has all the files, which is what I used the other SD card for, which I just had everything on it. Like I used it as a hard drive.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing that now with this other thing or with this other SD card. But I'm backing it up every week to make sure I don't lose it.
That's good.
Because I'm working on some videos at school and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's good. How are your videos? I know you're working on a couple things we haven't really talked about, but
But I can talk about it now.
Yeah.
I'm doing this one video where I make a skateboard,
Mhm.
which I think I've talked on Get to the Point about. But finally doing it. I was gonna get up early this morning and shoot me painting it today, but I didn't.
Yeah. Do you have everything ready to paint it and stuff?
Yeah, I have everything ready and I have all the footage before painting it done.
That's good.
So yeah, I have another video where I'm talking about becoming an adult, like being 18.
Yeah. I didn't know about that.
It's I like it. I was gonna maybe get you on it once you turn 18 if it takes that long.
Yeah.
And
But
then get your thoughts on
it's
it.
shockingly soon.
Coming up, yeah.
Like a couple weeks. I looked
Yeah.
at my birthday's on a Sunday this year, and so on our church calendar I saw it and I was like, hey, that's in like 5 weeks.
Wow. Dang.
Right?
But yeah, I'm working on that. And I still have to shoot something for that. I shot something. I shot the end of the video.
Sorry, I thought we weren't recording for a second.
That
I was
would have
like,
been
sorry.
that would have sucked. I shot the end of that video, but I think I'm tweaking it now. Like I don't want the way it ends right now. I feel like it gets too far from the point of it. If that makes sense. It's not
You're not
I got
getting-
frustrated last week because I was like, this is not like a centralized idea. Like it's kind of all over the place. So I think I'm finishing it a different way and I'm gonna re-record that. May put that up on a Patreon or something too. I don't know. I don't want to waste footage, you know.
Real.
Like, I want to put it up to where somebody can watch it if they want to.
Yeah. Do you think I don't know we talked about on the podcast, but we've made a couple of videos. We made a Wii Sports video and a Mario Kart video, but we're gonna re-record them. Think we'll ever release that footage anywhere?
I would be open to if we get the other people, because when we made that video,
It was a long time ago. Did I have a beard?
you did.
in the first one?
I don't know. I don't remember. But how we got people involved with that video was, or how we addressed it to them was, we're going to animate over this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if your face is in it. So I do want to double check to make sure that's fine, that their face or whatever is in it.
I know at the end of I just remember recording. I remember at the end of specifically the Wii Sports one, the Mario Kart one. We didn't record for as long, and also we just kind of broke it up. It was 100% less competitive based. It was just fun, us having fun.
Yeah.
And it was originally supposed to be competitive based, and I remember I wanted for it to be competitive still, but I was like, I'm gonna make this fun, and I want the beginning. I talked to you about this, and you were kind of a little lenient. So I was like,
I'm gonna do this. And I'll tell you why.
Let me finish.
Oh, I'm
they
sorry.
don't know why.
Oh, wait, that is true.
So he wanted to make it more of like a competition, like who's the better driver. And I was like, what if we just go on a road trip? And I even was like, hey, you should download a driving simulator so we can just genuinely drive. And we ended up not getting the driving simulator, but we ended up just recording it. Because I remember the beginning, I was like, let's do it like this. And we did it like that. And then you were just like, this is great. Because it was really fun. And it was like, we all had a great time. And it was really like, it was so less competitive. And at the end of the Wii Sports video, which was competitive, I don't know if you saw it. I don't think you did. But like some people, they just got like, just sick of it. There's like, it's not fun. They're just being competitive. Like, I don't care that I win or lose. I just want it to be over. Because it just kind of, some people, us not as much. Like, we're just not really competitive. I know sometimes I act competitive, but like if I lose a game, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
And you have to not be upset about it because you lose all the
Because I lose all the time. God, I really thought, I don't know. I brought my game. Yeah. And I thought that would give me
and
at least
I freaking cooked.
I said that. I'm talking about the Minecraft card game thing that I brought today.
I got so many points.
It's mine. Like, I thought that would have given me a competitive edge, but
I just was cooking that game. I was just getting stuff over and over again. I realized, you know how I won that game? I realized that it didn't matter what stuff I got. I just needed stuff. Like resource denial is really, really good in that game.
And I'm very much like, I conserve resources.
Yeah,
That's the thing that I do in games a lot. Whenever I would play Pokemon, I would like never buy anything. Or
really?
Like, or I would never use any. So I think if you go back and look at my like old Pokemon Diamond save, you can see like a bunch of Pokeballs and like a bunch of
freaking balling with the gold. You don't use any?
A bunch of like potions and stuff like that.
Would you buy potions and you just would never use them, or would you not buy, like, conserve your gold and stuff?
I don't remember if I would buy them or not. I think I have a lot of money or something in it, but I didn't catch a lot of Pokemon because I didn't want to waste the balls.
Real.
Because I was like, well, what if I don't catch it?
It's real.
And so it stopped me from accomplishing a lot. So there you go. Look at that moral.
Have you learned to take risks nowadays?
Take risks now, yeah.
I said no.
No.
I don't do it ever.
I actually, I do the same thing.
I think that so I think that if you kept that mindset, we would never have a podcast.
I agree.
And you know what? I record this podcast and we make videos with the hopes that they like succeed and stuff because that's what we want. But like, even if they don't, like, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, it is really cool.
And like, I hope that we do this for a long time. But like, I don't want to like, sorry if I break your dreams right now. Well, like, I want to do this for as long as I can. But I know eventually at one point, if we're not like big and I can't like use this as like a full-time thing.
Well, yeah.
Then we just can't do it anymore. Like, that's just I think that's just a normal thing. Yeah. And I know that you want to pursue stuff like this and even if you like do this on your own and you go big, I'm always down to come back. I'm willing to take the risk, but also I want to have my life and I want to be a part of this for as long as I can.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be a fun experience no matter what happens. Like even if we stop recording like next week, I can still always be like, we did that. Like that was fun.
Yeah.
Like if like, hey, go watch my podcast that I had. It's so much fun. I definitely would watch our podcast all the time. Not our podcast. I say my podcast when it's just me. I'm like me and my best friend Sawyer. We have a podcast together.
Oh yeah.
I stopped referring. So I used to refer to us as the co-host. Like you're the co-host, and I'm also the co-host. But the way I made it worded is that I am the main host and you are the co-host. I didn't mean to. Like it genuinely was like, yeah, Sawyer's the co-host. So we're like, oh, okay, so you're the main guy. And I'm like, no, wait. We are the host, which I've gotten a lot better at. I correct myself sometimes. Like the co-host, the host.
I mean,
but we have a lot of unreleased videos, like the D&D one, which you were Grumble, which we did a really cool thing. I know how I want it to end, and I don't know if we want to ever do it.
Did you want to try this? You said you never had
No,
any.
I'm okay.
Okay.
One day I will. Today is not that day.
Not the day.
So Sawyer played a character. His name was Grumble. And we did this. So I DM'd my first D&D campaign, which had some bumps, but we got through it. And I ended up really liking the ending, which I'll talk about in a second. But the D&D campaign that we
burped?
No, I stuttered.
It sounded like you burped.
I'm sorry, I stuttered. I just But the D&D campaign that we had was supposed to be your backstory. And the whole thing was like, hey, I want you to make me a backstory. And it gave me this really good opportunity because Sawyer never played D&D at the time. And I was like, hey, I really want you to be a part of this. And he was like, the first thing this guy asked me was, I was like, you can do anything. It's D&D. He's like, can I be grass? And I was like, I don't know if there's any grass races or other species. They're called species now in the new edition, but I don't have that new edition yet. So we're going to call it races for the time being. But also side note, people are really mad they changed it to species. And I get it. It's been race. They changed the name from races to species.
I feel like species makes more sense.
I agree. And that's what I'm saying, but everyone's real mad about it. And I'm just like, dude, it's not that deep. And people are using the same argument for why they changed it. Like, it's not that deep. And I was like, yeah, then why are you upset they changed it? Like, it doesn't matter.
It's not that deep, bro. Why didn't they just keep it the same?
They changed it. Like,
that's funny.
But I looked it up. I was like, plant races. And there's no plant races, which doesn't make sense to me, right? I think there should be. I'm sorry, I'm taking things out of my pocket. I realized they were in my pocket and now it's bothering me. But there's no, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this for you, Sawyer, because I love you, bro. I'm going to make you a curse and you turn into grass. Does that sound good? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, now you got to figure out what race you want to be. And I was like, in my brain, I was like, he should be a gnome because he'd be like a garden gnome.
Which is cool.
And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And you became a gnome. And you're like, how did I get this curse? I was like, I don't know, you choose that. And you were like, no. You choose that. And I was like, I don't know. And I kind of just let it be like a little mysterious. And then eventually you were like, let's do a D&D campaign for the podcast. Or I might have said that. I don't remember.
I think it was you, but I don't know.
One of us was like, let's play D&D the podcast. Because that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. And so we were thinking about what to do. And I don't remember if it was you or me who brought it up, but we were like, backstory to my character. I was like, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And so I sat down, I wrote it in a day. I improv that whole thing. I had names and a basic idea of what I wanted the plot to be. And it was really cool. Like, I know how I want it to end. I know like a lot of things. Like, I know like there's a lot of things that you don't even know, which is crazy. But we did it because I was doing this campaign. And your cake fall. I haven't eaten a lot of my cake. It's very good though. But I would like to take a minute to talk about my D&D campaign. And the two topics that I have to talk about are so drastically different, and it's very funny.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Because I was going to say it earlier, and then it clicked that I didn't say it, and I'll forget it again.
Of course.
I said the reason why I was so lenient on making it semi-narrative based.
Like competitive like?
Yeah, keeping it competitive is because I had the Wii Sports and Mario Kart video idea since I was in the 6th grade. And I wanted it to do it with the friends that we had in middle school. And so I had this idea of what it should be in my head, and I wasn't open. I wasn't open to what it could be. Do
you think that since that's happened, you've kind of been like, okay, like because that idea, not a bad idea. Like if we go back and did it, I think we could make good videos, especially with like.
Yeah, I agree. And that's also just, I had that idea because that's also just the kind of content that I watched at that time. Like it was like a group of friends and they competed to do something and they were just silly the whole time. And I was like, I want to do that. And I think that's cool and fine, but also I want to make stuff that's also stuff from us, you know?
Yeah, like we are like.
That's that's okay if that changes.
Pretty original idea. I mean, now, like at the time, it was a lot more. Is there cake on my face? No, there's not. Sorry, it was the shadow.
There might be cake on my face. I don't care.
I don't care. Oh my gosh, my cake matches my facial hair, and your cake matches your shirt. Wow.
This pink icing is really good.
Really?
It's strawberry.
This cake is so nice. I like it. But I just think nowadays, just the content was so original at like the time. Like, yeah, it was just kind of this new age of like YouTube content. Like now that's pretty common for there just to be like, today we're becoming super athletes, and it cuts to Wii Sports. Like that's something that I feel like we could see on YouTube. Do you agree with that, or do you think? I definitely think that what we're doing. I'm not saying that what we're doing is stolen. I do think a lot of it is very original. Yeah, but I think it's a lot more new YouTube than how the other ones felt.
I agree. That is different for than what YouTube used to be. But I will say I haven't found a lot of YouTubers that do that at all. Yeah. The only one that I can think of is that Rhett and Link show that I watched yesterday.
Which one?
That was it was like, today we're gonna be flying first class.
Oh yeah.
And then they got stranded on an island.
Which I
and the video just like shifted.
That's such a cool idea. Rhett and Link, if you're watching, can you just like hit us up, please? Like be like
if you're watching this Patreon episode.
Like if you're subscribed to our Patreon. But like I think it's one of my goals, and like the biggest YouTube goal I have is to professionally meet Rhett and Link. Like not like I see him on the side of the road. Like if I do that, I'm going up to him, that's for sure. And I'm asking for a selfie. But I just want them to be like, reach out, or we reach out, and they're like, yeah, come on GMM. I'll be like,
wow. I want us to be on the Colin and Samir podcast.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know a lot about him, this guy, Colin and Samir, but I know more. I see it a lot nowadays. Okay, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, D&D.
D&D. So I made this backstory for this guy that he was playing, and at the time we had already not recorded. I already DM'd and we already did the first session, right?
Sorry.
We already done the first session because we did the first.
Yes. Yeah.
We did the first session, and then we had a massive break in between the second session. We did the first session and we just didn't finish for a really long time, right? Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Oh, thanks.
This is the boys' podcast where we burp.
Girls can also be here.
As long as they burp.
Girls don't burp.
They don't.
It's true. Have you ever seen it happen?
I've never even seen a girl.
Me either.
Let alone one burp.
Anywho, we played D&D. In the first session, what I told you guys is that everyone needed a reason to leave, right? Mm-hmm. And Sawyer was like, my reason that I left my home is because I am grass. And he was like, you do the rest. And I was like, okay. But everyone had their own reasons. We played, can I name drop all the people we played?
Sure. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone was like.
There's only one that hasn't been on the podcast. Actually, there's been two. But
they've
I know that they're on about it.
Dalton was playing. He was in two of our podcasts. He played the character of Gannis. There was Sawyer who played, he was playing Grumble. Sammy was playing, he's played a character named Buck Black.
Didn't know that was his last name. Okay.
Yep, Buck Black.
Thought his name was just Buck.
Lexi, she played for a little bit. She ended up kind of having to step out. But she played the character
Flower.
Yeah, her name was Flower. She played a Kinku. And then after the first session, it was the third session. Our friend Allison started playing, and she was a Yuanti named Monty. Monty Indigo. But so the first session opened on a boat with Sawyer and Sammy and Dalton and Lexi, and they were all kind of hanging out. And they were all going to this new island, and this place took place in like more like piratey centrist.
This place took place.
The world took place. Like the whole D&D session took place in like this more like rough piratey world. Like boats ended up becoming this like newer invention. So there's a lot of less boats around. It was very, very, very hard to find that. And they were in this like peninsula of islands, like thousands of islands, just over around each other. It was a really weird looking thing. I have a map of it like somewhere in my room. But they all left the mainland and they all went to this island called Luzon. And they all got to this island, and it was just like this. It was super like culty religious feeling. Like there was all these people who praised this god. They called him Tire, and they called him the god of light. And at one point they get like basically not kidnapped, But basically, like, we're gonna like do unspeakable things to you unless you like go on this like fetch quest. And they went around the island and collected a bunch of stuff. And eventually they bring this island back to like this priest dude. And this priest dude is like, go to the other island and get me this ruby. There's this beautiful red ruby on this statue of a snake person, right? So they go to this statue and they get this ruby out. And then a bunch of these like Yuan-Tis, which are snake, half people, they all kind of came up and they just kind of started like attacking everybody. And eventually they brought the ruby back. And they found out that they were using all the ingredients as like a massive weapon to kill. What you doing there?
I was trying to prop it up. There's like these little.
Oh, there's like a kickstands. Yeah. Do you need help?
Oh, I was just trying to do it without like getting up. It was wobbling, and it was frustrating me that it was wobbling.
Yeah. But eventually they found out that the priests and the religious people were trying to make this super weapon because they believed that the snake people were like evil and stuff. And eventually they escaped with the snake people, and they were told to go investigate a different religion. And throughout this time, they found out that this religion was in a war with a different religion, but they didn't yet know about this religion. So they kind of explored a couple of islands. They went around, and then they found this another religion called Ananda. They were the Anandans. They praised 5 dragons. Eventually they all the dragons had died at the time, and it's not really that important. The biggest thing is that they went to each dragon had a sword made out of them. Sawyer had the green sword. The dragon was named Gaia, and then there was a blue sword from Thassa. There was
How do you remember this?
I spent so long writing it.
Okay.
Like I made this. Like this is my name.
That is true.
But blue sword of Thassa. There was a black sword of Orborg. There was a white sword of.
I thought you got the names from Stupid Deaths, though.
I got the names for some things from Stupid Deaths.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot of names from like Magic and stuff. That's where all these names came from Magic the Gathering, like famous Magic the Gathering places and people. Then there was the White Sword of Avacyn. And then the biggest one is that there was one dragon still alive who was the red dragon, and his name was Valkis, and he was super rude and evil, and you guys visit him at some point, and he like tells you guys some stuff. But the Anandans, they believe in this stuff, and they believe that if you believe hard enough, whenever you die, you come back to life and you have like this scar on your forehead, and then as many times as you die, you get like more and more scars, and like pretty much the goal is that
killed the priest,
and they did. But eventually, all the people they kind of get like super suspiciously die, like somebody stabs them or they get shot. And I never said this. Sorry, let me finish this thought, and then I'll say this. But then they all woke up in this white room. This is actually the first idea. The first scene I ever had for this entire D&D campaign was this one. I don't know if you know this. Was you guys all die. And you wake up in this room, and then you're told that you have a minute to ask me any question, like about the universe, like anything you want to know. Like ask me and I will answer it. Right? Mm-hmm. And it ended up like kind of flopping. Like you guys didn't ask any like good like deep questions. Because the whole thing is that they would answer, but also they'd answer like a lot to their narrative. So you'd be like, what's the real religion? And they'll be like, us. We are the real, because they were actually kidnapping you, which I never built on because it ended up falling through the cracks. Midway through the D&D campaign, I changed everything. I rewrote so much of it, and I just decided where I wanted to go. But eventually it becomes more like they go around, they visit islands, they collect swords and stuff. Some big sessions is they visit this island called Atlas Isle. And there's this island, it's an island of gnomes, right? And all these gnomes are in like this little hut. And both of the religions are positioned on either side of the island, and they're trying to fight each other. And they have a bunch of gnomes kidnapped. And the party finds out that all the gnomes had created gunpowder and guns, which they called pew-pew powder.
This session was so cool.
And the gnomes had made these massive mech suits, right? And they would make these mech suits. And what ended up happening is the gnomes were like, we need to attack, right? And at some point there was a terrorist attack that was inflicted by one of the gnomes had like a vest of dynamite on and was like, I'm going to go break my friends out. I'm sick of this, right? Like I'm going to sacrifice myself and we're going to get them. And had a detonator in this guy's hand. And Allison, she had the command spell. And the command spell is basically you do what she says. And so she was like, drop it. So she dropped it. And so the way a detonator works, at least it did in this universe, is it had a button and it was no string. It was wireless, which is a different thing.
Yeah.
And all the stuff is in the top. It's just the only reason it's long is so you can hold it. So it's super top heavy. And when you drop something that's top heavy, gravity pulls it down. So it'll hit on the top almost always. Right? So drop, she says. And I said, are you sure? Because I wanted them to know that this is a bad idea. I was like, are you sure you want to do this? And she's like, and everyone was like, okay, just tell him to put it down politely. And then she was like, drop it. And I was like, okay. He dropped it. He blew up, like killed a bunch of gnomes. He freaking blew up Sawyer's leg. Sawyer was dead.
Yeah.
Sawyer was fully dead
for a while.
And what ended up happening is this mass explosion that a bunch of people heard. So all these other people started coming. And all like the big religions started coming. They tried to break down the door. And eventually they were just like, all the gnomes getting like mech suits, and they had like big like, turrets and stuff. And they started blowing up the religious army men. And at some point, Sawyer's curse took over his body, and he began like going sicko mode, like he started like taking out the guards. But the session ended by them being like, not all the army men for the religions died, so they were still positioned at both sides. Many of them didn't. A lot of them didn't die. Just a little bit of them died. So eventually it ended with Dalton getting a big mech suit, like not a normal, because the whole thing is that, yeah, the gnomes had mech suits, but they're gnomes. So it's just like people-sized mech suits, right? And so, but Dalton got a big boy mech suit, and they fought like the military as like an armada, and it was so cool. And I really liked how I played it. But it ended with one of the sides of the Anandans getting like a bunch of Bluetooth, but blueprints and like
Bunch of Bluetooth AirPods.
and a bunch of guns. And so they ended up mass producing guns. And at this point, also throughout the very beginning, whenever they go to sleep, this guy, the shadowy figure who stood about 7 feet tall with these broad shoulders, but he kind of had like a smaller physique, would appear to them in their dreams and just talk about pain and be like, pain, you will cause great pain. And it was this really recurring thing that ended up becoming more of like this ominous figure. And eventually they did a heist to go destroy this nuclear reactor that was powering this facility that they were using to mass produce mech suits. This takes place like a good bit after this previous session. And so they take it down. Sawyer, you weren't at this one. This was one of the better sessions too, which I'm sorry you weren't there. Those two sessions were probably one of the best ones. I think, right? Those two and the last one were one of the best ones. That's what I say. But you were there for two of them, so what are you? But that happened and it was really cool. And then at this point, they found the black sword, the sword of Orborg, and Dalton picked it up. And all the other swords, whenever you pick them up, you kind of get a passive ability and everyone got a spell. Some of you didn't end up using this spell. To be honest, I didn't really know what the spell
I
did.
didn't use it.
Yeah.
Did I?
I don't think so. I want to be honest. I don't know what it was going to do.
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I knew what I wanted some of the spells to do, but I didn't know what I wanted a lot of them to do. But I knew they all had a passive ability. Like Sawyer could control the earth sometimes when he stuck it into the ground. And
Which was so cool.
Dalton, who picked up the black sword of Orborg, what are you doing there?
I'm trying to every time. Oh, is that what I need you to do? Every time I was trying to move this, it would tilt this way, and
You're like, bruh.
it would get your audio too.
That's annoying.
And I was struggling with it, but I think I finally got it.
That's good. So Dog got the black sword, and when he touched the black sword, he was like filled with this energy, and he saw everyone that he'd ever seen die. Right? So all these other people, like he saw they made a companion named Jan Jansen, who was a gnome, who was also a magic character. And it was like their best friend, like they loved Jan. And he saw Jan, and Dalton saw like in his backstory, he saw his sister die, and he saw like a sister, and he saw like a bunch of other really cool things. It's really interesting. But yeah. And then they just kind of collect these swords, and they found out that they were having the Anandans, right? They had planned to call a ceasefire because they did not reveal that they had guns, like the pew-pews, to the other religion. So they were going to call them all together. They're going to get a big meeting just to be like, we're calling it into the war. Whoever gets there, let's just like have a meeting to see what territories are which, right? And then eventually the plan was for them to just like basically commit like a mass war crime, like a genocide, and get all these people to come and then reveal that they have these weapons, these mech suits, and just take them all out. So after a long time, the party ended up going there. But when they got there, there was this massive crater, right? And they were just like, what is happening? And they were so confused. And then they saw these people in like hazmat suits. And they were like, what? It was a really different, it was a really harsh tone shift, right?
Yeah, it was.
Because it was supposed to be like the most different session. And they were like, what is happening? And eventually they get like borderline kidnapped because they get captured. And then they convinced them to let them out after trying to kill them. And they kind of ran away and fled. But eventually the boat finds them and they capture them. And they sink their ship. And it was very sad because they had the ship the whole time. The rental is now in pieces. And then they all wake up back at the very first session. The same thing is like, I even described it the same. And it was really interesting. And eventually what ended up happening is everyone ended up killing themselves.
That did happen.
And what was really, because I knew that there was two ways to get out of it. You kill yourself or you just do this whole session, right?
See, that happened again.
And Dalton was the first person, he said he puts the sword on his ground and he just falls on it, right? And he stabs himself through the heart. And he was like, what happens? And I was like, you die. And then I moved on because I couldn't go up to him until everyone else died. Because I didn't want them to be like, oh, so we have to kill ourselves, right? It's like, you die. And they're like, he's like, oh no. And eventually, oh, I hit the mic, my bad, with my shoulder. But everyone gets in a skerfuffle and then everybody dies. Actually, you guys were like play fighting, you and Allison's character, just to get a distraction. But one of you rolled a nat 20.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, you become the strongest you've ever been. You just kill them. And then they all end up dying when they wake up in like this facility, right? And and then they keep on going through, and it's super like high tech. Like there's people in vats, like there's like these grayed out like humanoid looking things in vats, and they find a bunch of audio tapes, and they find out that they've been researching like the gods of the universe. They found out about. Let me pull up my notes. I have them all written down somewhere. I might read one of them because I really like some of them. I have my Wintry West notes on here too, which is my next session. Wait, I apologize. Let me find. I have a. Where is it? I have a D&D thing. I have all in this thing. It's not here. Oh, here it is in the first one. So they have they read about the God of All. Can I read this? It might be a little long. Is that okay?
Yeah.
No, it's not. So, oh yeah, it's a little long. So they found this thing, and it says, the God of All, more formally known as the Entity. And the Entity is the thing that's been haunting them in their dreams. It's like, pain, you will cause great pain. It's that guy, right? Mm-hmm. The God of All, more formally known as the Entity, is a mysterious being that transcends the boundaries of space and time. The Entity exists beyond the conventional realms of reality and perception, operating on a plane of existence that is difficult for mortal minds to comprehend. It appears most commonly in visions or dreams, offering fleeting glimpses of its presence that can be both awe-inspiring and unsettling. Encounters with the Entity during waking hours are extraordinarily rare, making such occurrences subjects of profound fascination and intense speculation. The Entity possesses unparalleled knowledge that encompasses the creation and destruction of life itself. It is said that it has the ability to forge new forms of existence from the very fabric of reality, and conversely, to dismantle these creations with equal ease. The Entity has made bold claims about its powers, asserting that it has the capacity to bring forth new deities, though it frequently adds a caveat suggesting that it either cannot or should not exercise such power. The claims of the Entity have sparked intense debates and inquiries among scholars and mystics alike. There is a prevailing belief that the understanding of the Entity is crucial to the unraveling the mysteries of how all living creatures are interconnected. Its vast knowledge and abilities may hold the key to discovering the underlying threads that weave together the tapestries of existence, offering insights into the fundamental nature of reality and our place within it. In its quest for understanding, the Entity remains an elusive and profoundly influential figure, representing both the ultimate source of creation and the potential gateway to deeper cosmic truths. Its true nature and full extent of its capabilities continues to be subjects of deep contemplation and exploration, as seekers strive to grasp the profound significance of this transcending being. So the whole thing is that it became clear to them that this place that they were in were trying to discover life and how to create it. And they believe that this creature knew a lot about life. There also was some other gods that I wrote a lot of things about, which I really enjoyed writing those things. It's one of my favorite parts, like reading those to you guys, and you guys just kind of unraveling more things. But eventually, you guys find out that these are the Titans, and they're trying to make a mass armada, and they've been secretly having these underground bases. Like many people didn't even know about this. Like they were spreading misinformation to their people, like about this god, because they found out that the god of Tyre, which they believe was the god of light, is actually the god of peace, and a completely different god, right? And their entire religion was just wrong. Like they based it off a wrong hope and like wrong stuff. But they continue to push this stuff just so they can get more followers and more believers, just so they can have more people. And eventually, at some point, you guys escape after having a lot of battles. You died. You were really close to like fully dying at some point. And then eventually you guys pull up to this island, which you guys get coordinates for. And once you guys get there, there's this massive bomb that resembled that of like a nuke. And it was like a big bomb though, like the size of a skyscraper, like massive. Like this thing had some powers that they didn't know about. And so they took out the guards and they went to the bottom and they found these vaults, which you guys came out of originally, like a vault. And they found a timer. So they're like, okay, we gotta turn this. They found keys locked. So they just had to hit a button to start it, right? And so they're like, wow, we came so close to doing this. And in a moment, I'm gonna explain this how I explained it in the D&D campaign, because I really liked how I did that. Just as life was in your eyes, you hear a loud bang. As you turn around, you see Dalton, blood streaming down from his forehead. As he touches his head, brings down to reveal blood. He then falls to the ground, lifeless. And I look at Dalton, and I'm like, in an instant, your life flashes before your eyes. But not only yours, the life of every living being you've ever seen and never not seen flash before your lives. Every flap of every butterfly's wings, to every growth of every tree, to every person you've ever known, to every step of every person, to every cough of every animal. In an instant, you have the knowledge of every living creature, every living being, every god, every deity, everything you know. In an instant, you look down at your hands and you realize the truth of reality. We're all connected through one way, and that's through our souls. Whenever anyone dies, their soul is not only transitioned to another person, but is transitioned to another body, to another creature, to a tree, to a butterfly, to a person, just in a different space and a different time. You realize that you are the last life. Every life to live, every life to pass, you've lived them. In a moment, you look down at your hands to look over to see your lifeless body, and you look down. And the party looks over to see a 7-foot-tall creature with broad shoulders and yet a small physique. And it is revealed that everybody eventually becomes this entity that's been haunting them. But Dalton's character, Gannis, was the last life to live. And it's revealed that the sword that he was carrying that let him see dead people weren't actually letting him see dead people. They were letting him connect to people that he's lived the lives of. And he only brought...
Which was so cool.
He was only brought closer to through seeing them die. But I was like, Dalton, you know that if they stopped this bomb, it'll bring about the end of the world. But you know that if you activate this bomb and change the future, then the world will live on for millions of more years. So Dalton, I gave him a choice. I said that he can either not set off the bomb, he could either set off the bomb, or he could do whatever he wanted. I was like, you can do this, or you can just do something like that I don't fathom. And then Dalton is a really good, he's really good at role playing in this type of way. And so he just fully became I was so worried that he wasn't going to understand that he was he's equally as connected to his character that he just played as he is to you, which he's never played before, but he kind of interact with. And Dalton looks down and he says, pain. And then he hits the button and the bomb sets off and everyone dies. And every single island in this peninsula completely destroyed. All the snake people, all dead. And then I shut off the lights and I turn them back on, and I have everyone pass over their character sheets, and then we start the beginning again, but everyone's now their next life that they would live in the party. And it's so interesting. And also I'm doing another campaign take place in the same world.
Yeah.
About 100 years later. Actually closer, about 25 years later. It takes place in the West. And it takes place in a winter, in an endless winter. Because the bomb you guys set off an ice age.
Oh, that's so
It set off an ice age. And you know what's really interesting is that Dalton could have not set off that bomb.
Yeah.
And I would have had to, you know what I would have done if he did that? I would have been done with that world. I would have been like, the world eventually ended. Can I tell you, I knew the ending, like how I was going to make it. Do you know, it was going to end the same way. Like the very ending was going to be, you guys pass your character sheet over, but it was going to be Dalton and Sammy go off together back to their homes. Gannis goes back to find a life as Dalton tries, or Buck, or Sammy's character, tries to find his new life. Because Buck is actually named after, Buck lost all of his memory, and Buck is actually named after a famous cowboy who they wrote a bunch of books about.
Oh, yeah,
named
yeah,
Buck
yeah.
Black, and that's what he is about. And you and it was originally going to be you, Flower, and Monty, but Flower ended up dying in this thing because I had to write her out, so I just killed her. My bad. But you and Monty go off to the east, the highest east you can, like kind of a cold, grassy area, and Monty dies, and you end up living for like 3,000 years. Because you die, and you kind of just see everyone around you die, and you just become part of nature. You become super surreal for you. Like you become everything. Like you become the world. Like you end up being at the end of life for all your friends and stuff. And you kind of like it's less of like you live forever. You get to see everyone you love die. It's more of you appreciate life in its fullest, and you get to see great lives come and go, and you like appreciate everyone. Like your sense of life becomes so deep that you go to everyone's funeral, even though it's millions of hours away at this point. And you go to Buck's, and you go to Gannis's, and you go to Monty's, and you appreciate them, and you appreciate your loved ones, and eventually you die by withering away into ash. But I plan on playing again this summer with the same group. I'm gonna play two sessions that I have kind of pretty much planned. Is my next session is gonna be called the Wintry West. It's gonna take place in the West with you're gonna be a part of it, and a couple other people. You're actually the only person from this campaign, so you get to you get to like the hints of the previous one. There's not a lot, but because the world is destroyed. Yeah. But I have an idea for the next campaign, which will take place with all of the people from that campaign, I hope. So I have a lot of really good plans. I really want to talk to you about it, but I cannot. Yeah, because I want you to be surprised and be equally as excited as, I don't know, other things. And I've just become so far about DMing. Like I did that whole campaign, and it was so interesting because a lot of it, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it was bad. Like I messed up a lot of it. Like there was we did what we called a filler session, and it was so bad. I totally fumbled that session so hard. And like even the beginning was not. Which one was the filler session? It was the one with Ragada Baba and like the goblins. You were only there for like half of it. And it was just a super unimportant session that we just wanted to do to have fun. It ended up just becoming this annoying like.
Oh, because everybody was like out of town.
Yeah, and it ended up just being Sammy who was out of town, and I really liked how I did it. How most of the time, Lexi ended up missing a lot of the sessions because she went off to college and did some college summer stuff, and so I had to kind of write her out, but she appeared as much as she could. But yes, and I'm so excited for the Wintry West, dude. I have a playlist that I listen to all the time, and I know so many plot points, and I have this one point that's going to tie into like other sessions, and I know how I want the world to end. Like I know how I want everything to go, and I'm so excited. And I hope that I continue to like build this world for like a long time. I'm excited. Hey, I love you. Not you, but you. Have a fantastic day.
Later. Bye 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 bye
bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye bye.